Etsy has just updated their search, and I want to explain some of the most important things that can help your listing's visibility on Etsy. When you've created your wonderful items and listed them on Etsy, you really want people to be able to find those items, and one of the best places to be found is in the Etsy search. On Etsy, this is when a potential customer uses the search bar on Etsy and is shown the listings there. It would be great if Etsy shows your listings to that customer. This is a new person you've never met before who's actively looking to buy something a bit like the item that you've just created. Getting shown and hopefully found in search is called your search visibility. This is a combination of many things, including how many search terms you show in search for, where you rank in search for the specific keywords, and also how likely customers are to click on your listings when they see it in search. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the factors that help you rank in the Etsy search for a specific keyword term, and the last one is the most important by far. Before we get started, it's important to know the terms you want to show up in the search for. That phrase that the customer puts into the search bar is called a keyword, and if you don't know how to find the perfect keyword, you want to check out this video first. Let's look at Etsy ranking secrets. These are the things that you can do that directly help your listings rank in the Etsy search. First is relevance. You can structure the words you write in your listing to make it clear they're more relevant for that keyword. Etsy tells us it can see all the words in your titles, tags, categories, attributes, and even descriptions to see if your item is likely to match for the keyword that buyers are searching for. But the more you write them as an exact match for what the customer is searching for, the more relevant your items will be seen on Etsy. So, for example, if the keyword you're aiming to rank for was bronze and opal steampunk engagement ring, and your title said opal steampunk ring, and your tags included bronze, and it was in the category of engagement rings, then your items may be a match for that customer's search, but it would see it as less relevant than another listing that, say, had the whole phrase as the title, and so your listing might rank lower. When considering these most important keyword phrases, the words in your title and tags hold the most relevance weight, so you should put your most important keywords in both places. Then use the best categories and attributes that are available and relevant to what your listing is. And write your description to help your customers while keeping the keywords in mind, but don't keyword stuff random phrases in there. Write it in human language in what is helpful to that potential customer. Recency. How old your listing is does make a difference to how it ranks. This is because when you create a new listing, Etsy doesn't have any information about how it will perform when shown to customers, so a new listing gets a little boost in search while Etsy gathers data about it. This boost is often not very long, a few hours to a few days even, but a new listing does rank a little higher. Etsy tells us that constantly renewing our listings or creating new ones is not a good strategy, and at eRank we agree. If a listing wasn't working, then constantly paying the 20 cents to renew the listing will not make much difference. If, however, you've changed up your listing to try and improve it, it might not be a bad strategy to renew it once more to see if your changes have had any positive impact. Postage price. Etsy tells us they consider the postage price as a ranking factor for US sellers. Listings with under $6 shipping or that use calculated shipping will be prioritized in search to US buyers. Postage costs what it costs, so always make sure you're pricing appropriately for yourself. Don't slash profits in the hope of a very small potential boost in the search rankings. Customer service quality. Your average review rating, message response rate, and case rate now impact your ranking. As this is a metric for your entire shop, it will impact the ranking of all your listings in all the searches, so it's critical to keep an eye on this. On your Etsy dashboard, you can see these metrics here and keep track of how you're doing with them. They're slightly different from every shop depending on the volume of your sales and the number of messages you have, but like the star seller, it's calculated monthly based on the past 3 months of data. These standards are a little lower than those needed for the Etsy Star Seller, so hopefully achievable for all. Don't forget you can use auto reply if you're likely to be away from your computer for a few days and might miss some messages. The case rate metric is newer. Cases only count against you for orders under $250 that are closed against you and refunded from your account, those ones that are not covered by the Purchase Protection Program. And Etsy knows that you can't please everyone, so thankfully a small number of cases won't be held against you. If you're getting lots of dissatisfied customers, hopefully you would already be looking at ways to improve that before this becomes an issue and drops your score. Note that on-time dispatch and tracking is shown to you on your dashboard, but it won't impact your search rankings yet. As shipping methods are different in every country, if following this policy is difficult, it's worth contacting Etsy to let them know of your specific concerns before this becomes a metric impacting search. Past history. For your new or one-of-a-kind listings, Etsy doesn't have a past history on that listing, so they look at how other similar listings of yours have performed in search. So if a one-of-a-kind item you've sold did really well, then it could be an idea to see if you can make something else similar. It might rank well on Etsy because Etsy knows your shop is good for those type of keywords. And finally, most importantly, listing engagement score. Etsy describes this as, when a buyer searches on Etsy, our goal is to help them find items that they want to purchase. To do this, Etsy Search looks at clues from shoppers to determine whether a listing is appealing and meets their expectations once they click. We look at how well a listing converts, how many people view it, and then make a purchase to determine whether buyers are interested in it, which boosts that listing's engagement score and placement in search results. This is the most important because if customers don't like your listings, they won't buy them. If they're not buying your items but buying a competitor's items, then Etsy will show that other listing more in search. It makes Etsy money and it makes customers happier if they can find the items they want to buy when they're in search. Conversions is the number of people who buy per 100 views. This is not your total shop conversion or the total listing conversion. This is how well your listings convert when seen in search for that exact keyword. Etsy explains it more. To put it simply, when shoppers click on and purchase a listing from search, that listing may rank higher in search for that query. Now, these things are indirect factors that can help you rank higher in search and increase your visibility because they may increase conversion and so increase your listing engagement score. Because they depend on customer behavior, their actual impact will vary depending on your niche and your customers, but here are some things to consider. Listing and shop quality. Again, Etsy has added a section to our dashboard to help here, and you'll see how you're doing for certain things. High quality photographs, making sure they're large enough in size when clicked on, but also clear and bright enough when seen in search. This can really help a customer fall in love with your listing. Remember, customers can't pick up your item as they would in a shop, so it's up to you to display it well in the photos. And making sure your shop is complete with things like a shop logo, an about section. Make sure your listings have a return policy. Even a policy of no returns is still a policy. Although at the moment I can't see how to make a listing without a policy. One thing I feel we should always be working on to improve, as it is that important, titles. Titles don't just help with your listing matching for keywords and being relevant for the keywords, but customers also see your titles. If your title seems confusing, this might cause them to click on someone else's, or if your title clearly says the phrase that they were searching for, that can reassure them that your listing may be exactly what they were looking for. Price plus shipping. Price, of course, does factor into how likely a customer is to buy, but it's not always simple as them looking for the cheapest item. People can assume quality based on price. So while a very high price may put them off, so too can a cheap price. It might make them think there's something wrong with their item. So experiment with pricing appropriately, making sure you always have enough profit. Descriptions. Okay, customers are kind of lazy and don't always read descriptions, but the ones who do usually want specific questions answered fast. If your description is too confusing, badly written, or too long, they might click away and find a less confusing competitor. Translations. If you speak other languages and you're selling in these countries, then a personal translation can be better than the machine generated ones, and it'll look better for the customer. The tone of your shop, how your banners, photos look, and how your about section is written, and even how you answer messages can have a customer falling in love with you and your work or feeling uneasy and clicking away. Check for typos, spelling mistakes, and if you're being too negative. Customer reviews. Happy customers leaving glowing reviews factor into your customer service stats score, but also customers can read your reviews. So do everything you can to have a smooth, positive experience for the buyers. But remember, those reviews and star ratings are there on your shop for potential new customers to see, which may help them feel safer to buy from you. And of course, not every customer will leave a review, and that's okay. But the better your customer service, the more likely more of your customers will start leaving good reviews. Processing time. Especially near an important event, customers often leave shopping too late and want things really quickly. If your processing time is many weeks from now, they may well pick another shop who'll get their item to them on time. But everything is not always black and white. If you promise too quick turnaround times and don't deliver, then this could end up with bad reviews. And on the other side of the coin, I know some artists custom making things. Their processing time is months because they're so busy. That actually encourages people to buy because clearly they're very popular. Things that can cause your rank to lower. IP infringement issues. Copyright and IP is a massively complicated thing, but simply put, if you're creating anything based on someone else's work or registered to them and they report you to Etsy, this can have a negative impact on where your listings rank. And honestly, that could be the least of your problems, as your shop could be closed down or worse. So always check your work is okay to sell on Etsy. And not just by seeing if other people are selling it. It might still not be okay and they just haven't been caught yet. Low reviews. Just as happy customers leaving great reviews can impact your customer service stats, low reviews can hurt it. Make sure you represent your items honestly, give reasonable shipping times, and are always polite and professional with your customers. Don't worry too much about a couple of not great reviews. You can't please everyone. And there are things that really don't impact on how your shop ranks. Your overall total shop conversion. Sometimes your nan might tell her sewing group on social media about your great shop, and they'll go over to your shop to have a look to support you, but without buying. Don't worry, this doesn't hurt how your listings rank in search. Etsy tells us the conversion that matters is how often your listings sell when clicked on in search, and that's calculated for each different keyword. Having all 10 photos. Although great photographs can help buyers convert as they can see and fall in love with your items, and there are always crafty ways you can add more information by adding more photographs. For example, you can have an image talking about your shipping times or last shipping dates before a holiday. You can add in some of you in your studio creating your item, scales to show the size, or even how to use your item. But sometimes listings just don't need 10 photographs, and that's okay. It's better to have 8 great images rather than fill these last 2 shots with duplicate images. Having 13 tags. There are many great reasons to use up all those tag spaces you have. They can help you match more for keyword phrases, which would increase your visibility, but it doesn't help you rank higher and search for the keywords you already have in your listings. Make sure you have all the words for the keyword phrase you're wanting to rank for in your tags and title. That's all that's needed for that keyword. You won't rank higher for that keyword phrase by adding in more different keywords, but you have the chance to rank for the different keywords, so we still recommend using all your tags. I only added this because people sometimes ask why a certain listing is ranking on the front page of search when it only has 10 tags. If you've made it to the end, then you're committed to improving your Etsy listings. So check out these videos on how to write your titles, tags, and descriptions. Oh, and did I miss any ranking factors? Let me know in the comments below.